Hey everyone, North Star Knife Reviews. Going to take a look at an inexpensive knife today. This runs on Amazon about $10, and I actually think there's a 10% off coupon, so you can actually get it for $9. Now, full disclosure, this was sent to me by the company, by Barrysail. So they provide this. I did not pay for it. So take whatever I say here, with that knowledge. This is, it's an inexpensive knife. I do not know what the blade steel is. They sent me the link to their Amazon page so I can take a look at it. And it does not say what does not say what the steel is. I'm guessing it's probably like a 3CR, but I don't know. So a couple things about this. It does have a little cap lifter that you can use. Carabiner. Okay. This is just some sort of plastic. I don't know what it is. This is an assisted open. You've got a lock here and then comes out. Now, as I say, I don't know what steel this is, but I did take it out. Did a little feather sticking, broke down a few cardboard boxes. You can see there's a coating on this. It's just painted on. You can see it's starting to wear off a little bit from just breaking down a few boxes. So it's not like a Cerakote or anything, it's just painted. And I will say that, well, you can sort of see where I use the knife from here to here about for the cardboard, and then here's the part where I never really used it. This is still sharp. This is pretty dull at this point. So again, probably a 3CR, cardboard's pretty tough on steel, wears it down pretty quickly. So I'm guessing that is what this is. So you are going to need to sharpen this a lot if you do use it. Now, my thoughts on this knife. First, I have no problem with 3CR. My mantra, again, no good or bad steel, only good or bad steel for your purpose. I would probably not use this as an EDC knife, at least if you're going to be using it much. This probably be more useful as a knife that you put in your desk or junk drawer or something. Use it to open packages, things like that. Nothing heavy duty. It's the edge is not going to last, and you're going to have to bring it back. One other thing that is an issue for me is that there's a fair amount of blade play in this, and that concerns me. Not the end of the world if you just use it for light tasks, but you shouldn't have that much blade play, really. Now again, this is a $9 knife, so yeah, it's inexpensive, but I've got some other options if you're looking at something like this. For $9, if you're looking for a cap lifter and a blade, and that's all you really need, get one of these. Get one of these from San Renmu. All right, I did a review of this maybe a month ago, and I liked it so much I bought several more of these. They're going to go in some Christmas stockings. This costs about $1 less than this, and no, it doesn't have a carabiner. It's not assisted open, which quite honestly I'm not a huge fan of assisted openers, but this is just a little slip joint. It's going to do the same basic tasks, a lot smaller, and this is 12C27. It's going to hold an edge better than this. If you really want a carabiner, and I have no problem with a carabiner, if you really want a carabiner, here's what I carry on my backpack. This is a San Renmu. Okay, got the little carabiner. I just carry it on the chest strap. That way I've got a blade right there if I need to cut something, without having to dig through pockets and all that. This, at the time I bought it, probably cost about 15 bucks. I don't even know if they make this model anymore, but you could probably find something like it, 17, 18 bucks. So yeah, you are going to be paying more. But again, this is in, I think this one's an 8CR, although it may also be in 1227. I can't remember for sure. But it is going to, again, hold an edge somewhat longer. And, oops, sorry about that. And I think it's a better quality. Certainly does not have the blade play that this does. So, again, that's an option. If you are really wanting an assisted opener, you can get something like this Ganzo. This cost me about 10 bucks, so about the same price as this. Certainly a much bigger knife, and that may be an issue. Maybe you don't want something this big in your pocket, but if you're just looking for an assisted opener, this is much more solid than this. It is much bigger, obviously. This does have a pocket clip, which this does not. You know, so again, you can get an assisted opener. This is 8CR steel, so gonna hold an edge longer. Another option. And if you just want a blade, you know, and you don't want to spend a lot of money, you know, something like this little Flissa, I think this was 12 or 13 bucks. This is an 8CR. Whoops, couldn't get that open there. This is an 8CR. You know, again, going to hold an edge longer, bigger. But you know, my issue with this knife is not that it's, you know, fairly soft steel. That I can live with. You know, as long as you realize that you're going to have to do it. As I say, I'm a little concerned about the amount of blade play on this. Here, let's close it, and maybe you can see a little better the amount of blade play. You know, it goes back and forth quite a bit. And so, again, not the end of the world, but it does concern me a little bit. I think that, you know, I'm not going to say this is a bad knife. If you're just looking for something for your junk drawer, yeah, this might be fine. But quite honestly, you know, it is $9 or $10. That's not a lot of money. But at that price range, you can get a much more solid knife. And quite honestly, you know, I realize that money can be an issue for some people, but really, you know, come up with an extra $5, $8 and get something that's going to be, you know, a better option if this is the kind of thing you're looking for. Something like this, or save $1 and get this, right? So, you know, if you're really into assisted opening and you really want a carabiner, you're not so concerned about the blade steel, then yeah, go ahead and get this. I just think that there are better options out there. Again, this is only like $9 or $10, so it's not a huge amount of money that you'd be out. But still, I think there are better options. They'll give you more value for that same amount of money or just a little bit more. My 2 cents. Take it or leave it. You guys do you. You have a great day. I'll catch you next time.